you wake up today on social media as you surf, you're probably going to see a lot of Alec Baldwin. And that's because he was actually involved in a shooting on set. It's really crazy to think about. After you've had your fill of turkey and dressing or stuffing, whichever one you say, you might want to think about decorating for the holidays, right? Well, this is the last night. Check this out, that Monument Circle will look like this. And quarterback Carson Wentz, of course, preparing for that game, but also preparing for this, to be a father of two.
Maybe a little more important.
You know, maybe, depending on how you look at it. He's actually talking about how he's juggling it all. By the way, Kellogg's has yet to comment on this. I don't know what they would say about this. And at first I was thinking, like, this sounds like crazy, but then I thought about it. That lawsuit with the coffee and McDonald's sounds like a crazy concept, but that's how I feel after a bad date. I want them to drop through the floor anyway.
No limo ride out for you.
No, you get no limo ride. Just over with.
Jalea's favorite sandwich at McDonald's is
the filet of fish.
I
wish I was ashamed of it, but I'm not. Well, hey, parents, you need to know this breaking news that you head out of the door. Pike Township canceling classes today. I know, Karen, you pivoted to this as soon as we got this news a little while ago. What have you learned so far? So, as you mentioned, that we have been waiting to hear from local and state officials here, and so we can get to that tweet that we actually just got into our newsroom just a little while ago. You mentioned dangerous, and that's because it's kind of unpredictable, so you can plan out your route. We got the detour here on this Washington Street exit. The cones are up, the signs are up, but again, unpredictable because you just don't know what you're going to get. I'm going to show you exactly what we mean. As you said, guys, for the most part, it means that if you got a shot in your arm, it means you can take the mask off of your face in Marion County. But there's a couple of other changes to tell you about, too, that go along with this. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's talk about that council meeting last night. It can be a little bit confusing. We've gotten so many questions, people asking on our social media. You know, they hear FedEx facility, airport, and kind of are equating that with maybe the wrong FedEx facility. So we want to make sure that this map is clear for you. So this shooting happened at the FedEx ground facility right here.
I'm going to have to take off the next couple days from work.
I don't speak Southern.
Let me translate for you. They said, woo-hoo! That's all you need to know. I think that's the general feeling for most Braves fans this morning. They're probably not up just yet.
Yeah.
In case you missed it, by the way, Atlanta beat the Houston Astros 7-0 to win the World Series. 6:30 on Sunrise. I see what you guys did there with the song. Get your heavy coat as you head out this morning. I'm not just being dramatic this time, because look at the temperatures. It's like nobody is really escaping the 30s this morning. So thanks so much for sticking with us. Jalea, along with Julia, Carlos, Chuck, and Lindsay. And this time I'm not exaggerating when I say that it's close to freezing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jalea was just mentioning either it's warming up out here or she's just more excited and happier.
I think I'm just way more excited because I'm still not ready to ditch the coat and the gloves just yet. You guys were talking about the difference in Dustin's jacket and mine, and I'm like, no, I have that jacket on. It's just under here.
Yeah,
so,
layers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
layers.
feeding on everybody else's energy, so I've enjoyed walking around and talking to a couple of people as we've been out here. Well, guys, as you just said, 'tis the season for giving back, and so many local nonprofits need our help to deliver the gift of helping others. Like Riley Children's Foundation. They just kicked off their Christmas campaign, and the money helps families like the Browns, who are grateful to be spending the holidays at home this year after overcoming not one, but two shocking diagnoses. Well, there's nothing to prepare you to hear the words, your child has cancer. Melissa and Jeff were dealt that blow twice when both of their children were diagnosed with cancer just months apart.
Samantha had a low-grade fever on and off in the summer of 2019. She was ultimately diagnosed with Wilms tumor, and she had a 2.5-pound tumor on her left kidney.
Samantha was 6 when she had to have her kidney removed, and just as she wrapped up nearly 20 rounds of chemotherapy,
and now it's off.
What started as another routine trip to the doctor for her then 2-year-old brother Miles revealed this.
Miles was diagnosed with Burkitt's leukemia, and he had multiple tumors on both kidneys and his liver. And his bone marrow was also infected.
It's been almost 2 years now since Samantha's diagnosis. Today, she loves gymnastics, is a cheerleader, and a Girl Scout who's already mapping out her Christmas list.
Air track, fidget toys, and then a slushy maker.
Her parents grateful that she and her brother will wake up in their own rooms this Christmas. Unlike last year, Miles spent 54 straight days at Riley Hospital. Then another 6 months of aggressive chemo.
A lot of times I don't think Miles remembers even the worst parts of his treatment. He remembers, you know, the fun things he did in the hospital.
What were you doing here?
Having a movie night.
Yeah, did you like movie night? What was fun about movie night?
It looks like we had McDonald's. Ooh, let's see about
But he has no problem remembering the nurses and doctors at Riley by his side, day in and day out. What's his name?
Carol.
Carol. Why Carol?
Because she's from the hospital.
Both Miles and Samantha are thankfully cancer-free and in remission. And now more than ever, the Brown family certainly cherishes doing the simple things they love together.
Mommy, we need some cheese.
We're getting some cheese. Sissy's making the cheese.
But they've not lost sight of this.
We're very fortunate and grateful that Samantha and Miles were able to overcome cancer. But we both think about all the kids and their families, who we saw at Riley and who are still struggling today. They're on, in our thoughts all the time, and we know that they're in really good hands with the Riley staff.
Well, the Brown family now takes on projects to try and encourage other patients and the staff at Riley, including fundraising. And if you'd like to learn more about Riley's annual giving campaign or donate, you can click on this story at WTHR.com. One of the, I guess the word is refreshing things to see is even just in talking to those children, especially Miles. His mom even mentioned this, that like he remembers all of the kind of the highlights. Oh, I got to meet the Colts players, and oh, remember movie night and those types of things, but doesn't even all the time get the magnitude of what they've overcome. And they say that that's certainly just because of how the Riley family there just made them feel so comfortable and at home when they could.
Good memories in a bad situation.
Exactly. We're hanging out in Fletcher Place near Fountain Square. We are finding the flavor at a place called Bluebeard. Indie food blogger Mike G, you scouted this place out for us as usual. Why do we need to try this out?
So Bluebeard is just one of those special places. Been here since 2012. They have new American cuisine and they're just always switching up the menu. So the chefs get a chance to be creative and you can always come here and have something new.
Well, let's not waste any time. We want to try it out. Let's go.
Check it out.
So Mike, you have handpicked the items that you want us to try today. What are we trying out?
So today we're going to have the Manhattan, the beef Manhattan, as well as the turkey bacon ranch sandwich, and then we're going to have their traditional spaghetti that's always on the menu.
And it has a cool backstory too, this place.
Yeah, I mean, how Bluebeard started was with Amelia's, their bakery, which they still have. So in the Manhattan, as well as the turkey bacon ranch sandwich, we'll be trying some of the house-made breads.
Well, let's get to it.
All right.
So immediately as this was brought out, all eyes were on this Manhattan because this thing is huge.
Massive.
Yeah, go big or go home, I guess. So how is this made? I kind of got a sneak peek back in the kitchen.
So house-made roast beef. You have the mashed potatoes, gravy on top, and it's all on top of that house-made Pullman bread.
The bread that's made here.
Yes.
Right.
That's our Manhattan.
So you got to make sure you get all the layers with this one, right?
First bite, how is it?
About what I expected. Delicious. Let's talk about this turkey bacon ranch right now, because this is still the house-made bread as well,
it's
right?
It's the house-made bread, but then you have some really, really good cuts of meat on there. You have your lettuce, of course your ranch, turkey, and your bacon.
They change the menu here and often.
Yeah.
How
whenever
often?
they want. It can be daily, weekly, monthly, whenever they want to do it.
But one of the staples, at least, if you're not a person of change, is this spaghetti, which doesn't really look like your typical spaghetti. I see no red sauce inside.
No red sauce at all. But
what
the
is on
spaghetti is the noodle.
Yeah.
But they have creme fraiche in it, remoulade, a lot of Parmesan, and then some lemon in there as well.
The lemon gives it a fresh pop. I like that.
Really good.
Thank you very much, Mike. As usual, you pick some good items on the menu. I know they change it around a lot, so maybe put in a good word so people can try it out too. Stick around.
For sure. Remember, it's Bluebeard in Fletcher Place near Fountain Square.
And don't forget,
tell them Mike G sent you.
Little behind the scenes for you. She went out to shoot. We shoot out of order sometimes.
Yeah.
So you ate a little bit of the sandwich. You went out to shoot some things. You came back to finish the sandwich.
Sandwich was gone. I was crushed. Yes, I was like, "Where's the sandwich go?" And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were done with it." So I said, "I got to make a special trip back to make sure I try the sandwich again." So it was very good, worth the trip for sure. Yeah, I was robbed a little bit of that sandwich.